Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/Dan's Book Reviews.
Dan the Art Man's Book Reviews, Episode 71, A Study in Scarlet by Arthur Conan Doyle. This first Sherlock Holmes book is really fun because you get to see Dr. Watson meeting him for the first time. You get to see them discovering each other's peculiarities and watch as they become the famous roommates at 221B Baker Street. I also love when they use the phrase, "What the deuce?" There are many fantastic phrases in the writing, and besides that, Doyle's descriptive diction is top-notch. So you get a cool, fun, mysterious plot with fantastic prose. The best of both worlds, I dare say. I love Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's writing. He captures the voice of Watson so well. The cunning mind of Sherlock Holmes makes the story intriguing, and he is a great character I love. One shouldn't ignore, however, that the beautiful writing with which the story of Sherlock's adventures unfold make them sharper, more richly rendered, and more inspiring. The hunt for the criminal is awesome to read, but the gorgeous prose that delivers the mood, sights, sounds, and smells make the Sherlock stories instant classics to be held up as great works of literature. I particularly like the way Doyle describes characters in his story. I get a keen vision of them in my mind. Another favorite line of Doyle's, though not from this book, is when Watson describes a visitor to their flat as decidedly nautical. The flavor of these stories is one I keep coming back to because they're so great. The last story in this book was a bit odd, but if you stick with it, there are exciting scenes to be had. It has to do with other characters in the American West. I just wish it would have been another story that started at 221 Baker Street. It all kind of ties in, though, if you pay attention to the characters' names, and Sherlock and Watson do find their way back into the story in the end. All in all, this is a special Sherlock Holmes book because you get to see the genesis of the fantastic duo of Watson and Holmes form. I can't wait to read the next one. Awesome. Man, I do love those books, and I have some great news for you. You can get a free copy of A Study in Scarlet by Arthur Conan Doyle if you go to audibletrial.com/Dan's Book Reviews. If you go there and pick up a free copy, you can actually get any audiobook of your choice, and they've got them all, but I'm recommending this week A Study in Scarlet. It's fantastic, and you'll notice that there are many versions. That's because this is an older book that's in the public domain, so any narrator can just grab it because the rights are free to anyone and narrate it, trying to make a name for themselves as an audiobook narrator. But let me recommend to you Simon Vance. He has a really nice voice to listen to. He's a pro. He's done such huge works as Dune and A Christmas Carol. So he's not just someone out there trying to make a name for himself. He is a veteran pro with an amazing British accent and smooth, articulate voice that you will love to hear the gorgeous prose of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle read through. So check it out for free. You get a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook of your choice at audibletrial.com/Dan's Book Reviews. And when you do that, you're also helping support the show. So thank you, and thanks to Audible. Awesome. Man, I love these books. They are so great, and even though they're quite a bit older, man, they hold up so well. Like I said, the stories are intriguing, the characters are awesome, and the writing is just so good. Can't really say enough about Sherlock Holmes. And there are a lot of them, which is great because if you read one and you like it, there's a ton more to go get. So check it out. And that's going to do it for me. I apologize for the hiatus that this podcast went on. My family actually went for a couple of weeks out of the country to Guatemala, which was an amazing time. You can read all about it. I put some kind of diary journal entries from the trip on my blog at dantheartman.com. Also, when I was in Guatemala, my debut novel came out. It's called Haunted House Flipper by Dan Absalonson. That's me. My debut novel is out. It's out in paperback and ebook, $4.99 and $9.99 for the ebook and paperback. Go grab yourself a copy. If you're a reviewer, contact me. I'd love to send you a free copy of the audiobook in exchange for an honest review. And that would be awesome. So go check it out, you guys. Another really awesome, the best way to support me. And especially if you read it and like it, leave me a review for Haunted House Flipper by Dan Absalonson. Could really use some reviews. I'd really appreciate it, you guys. It's about a realtor who stumbles upon some supernatural tools that he can use to rid a property of spirits. So he buys up haunted houses that are really cheap because no one else wants to buy them, uses these new tools to rid the place of, turns out they're actually demons because there are no such things as ghosts. And one of the tools he has is a sword, and demons are fallen angels and angels have swords. So there are supernatural sword fights in my book, and you're going to love it. It's a really fun read. I had a ton of fun writing it. I've heard a lot of great feedback from people who have read it. So go check it out. Haunted House Flipper, my debut novel. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for listening, and happy reading. And hopefully you will hear from me again with another episode of Dan's Book Reviews in just a week. Alright. Hope you're enjoying the nice new spring weather we're finally getting out here. Take it easy, guys. Mike, take it away.
This podcast is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution, non-commercial, no derivative works license. Music by Kevin MacLeod, found at incompetech.com. The website that goes with this podcast can be found at dantheartman.com. And you can follow Dan on Twitter, Google+, and Facebook at dantheartman. For Dan, this is Mike Luoma, saying happy reading, and we'll see you next time.